my name is Stacey Flowers and I am a student of Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University and on a journey to become 100% debt-free. My current debt is $184,677.39. I am currently on baby step number 1 to save $500, and that is because my income is under $20,000 a year. I work part-time, earning anywhere between $1,000 and $1,200 a month. In this video, I am going to do a budget report card for my February 2018 monthly budget. So if you are interested in seeing how much income I earned, what expenses were paid, where I went over and under, my overall grade for my February budget, and what are some of my thoughts on reflecting on the month, please stay tuned. So I am super excited to do this particular video. I'm excited about this budget. I feel really good about this budget, and I hope that you guys will feel really good about it too, and it'll inspire you to start budgeting because it just changes so much. So let's dive into my reflection questions. I always do the reflection questions at the top of the video, or anytime I'm doing anything and I'm on a journey, I do reflection questions because there's no other way for me to know how I'm doing unless I reflect on how I'm doing. And it's one thing to look at the numbers, but the numbers get overwhelming and boring after a while, and these questions really help me to just stay motivated in the game. So that's a question that keeps coming up, is how do I stay motivated to stay on the journey? And a lot of it has to do with, I have a tracking process, and I at least check in once a month, and when I do, I reflect on things so that it's more than just the dollars and cents. Well, I'm doing that. You guys know that I always reflect with a little bit of water. Water keeps you hydrated. It changes your life. Drink more water. It'll make it easier for you to think through things. And I just find that like finances can become very emotionally overwhelming, and the water helps keep things clear. So without further ado, my number one reflection question is, what are you grateful for from the month of February? And I would have to say the top thing that I'm grateful for in the month of February is you guys, the financial peace community that has gathered around this journey. You guys have totally blessed my entire soul. Like, I love you guys. The commentary, the feedback, good, bad, indifferent, confusing, ugly, it doesn't matter. All of it is creating this amazing community that is supporting me in moving forward on this journey. Just from an accountability perspective, that's the number one way that you guys support me, is just there's a measure of accountability in the community that has gathered. But in addition to that, like this month, you guys went above and beyond. There were 2 people who actually gave me gifts this month, and then collectively as a community with you all watching the video, I was able to earn actual dollars and cents from YouTube. And so I'm so incredibly grateful for you all. I had no idea that sort of a blessing would come out of it. I was hoping for this level of accountability, but I had no idea that it was going to look like this. And I'm so grateful to you guys. You guys are amazing. You are changing my life. The second thing that I'm super grateful for is my crock pot. I did really, really good on my meals this month in terms of flavor. So like a few months ago, I told you guys that I really wanted to eat on $1 a day, and I have been working on that. I've been unsuccessful, but I've gotten my budget down very, very low. But inside of me eating on $1 a day, I just didn't want to eat anything on $1 a day. I wanted to eat things that actually taste good and were like packed full of flavor, so I wouldn't get bored and irritated and like splurge one day because my taste buds were like, why, you know? So this my crock pot has really been just giving me life. So this month, I made chickpeas, I made red beans, I made black beans, I made white beans, and I made black eyed peas in my crock pot. I made quinoa, I made rice. I made so many different dishes that were just able to be layered and delicious and beautiful. And so I'm super incredibly grateful for my crock pot, because if I didn't have that, I probably would be able to eat inexpensively, but I wouldn't have the flavors in that layer. Like, flavor is really important to me. So super grateful for that. And those are the things that I'm grateful for this month. What worked this month? What really, really worked was me budgeting the unexpected income. I had a ton of unexpected income come in, and me going back into my budget, like when I did the mid-month check-in, and even moving over to EveryDollar. So I'm going to throw you guys over my shoulder so you guys can see the dollars and cents on the EveryDollar app. When money started to come in, I went on my paper and was adjusting things on my paper. But when I did the mid-month check-in, there was someone in the community who pointed out that my calculations, even as I was entering the numbers, were still a little bit off, because I still, there's still some blind spots. So I was like, okay, I need another checks and balance. So I went ahead and downloaded the EveryDollar app, and in me downloading the EveryDollar app, I was able to put the numbers in there and really budget that unexpected income. Because if you notice, the unexpected income goes on your irregular income spending, but you're not really allocating it. So it was very nice to be able to see that. The second thing that worked was shifting to intending rather than goal setting. In the previous videos, you guys would see that I had goals that I wanted to achieve every month, and that was just creating too much pressure for me. It was definitely identifying a target, but my aim was off. And so instead of focusing on my target, I realized that I just needed to sharpen my aim. And the way that you sharpen your aim is by setting a clearer intention. And so that is what I'm doing, is creating this much clearer intention. And then the other thing that worked was the mid-month check-in. It was like game-changing. It was awesome. What didn't work, not using cash. You guys know my last video, I showed you my debit card got skimmed. And I mean, it wasn't a horrific thing, but it definitely was that like kick in the pants to be like, all right, Stacey, stuff those cash envelopes, because that's a part of this plan too. What I need to start doing is my cash envelopes. And the thing is I had a plan to do my cash envelopes. To be perfectly honest, I just didn't think that I made enough money, or not that I didn't think, I just didn't have enough extra money left in my budget to be putting money into envelopes. So, but start my cash envelopes. And then what I need to stop, I need to stop being overly conservative in my budget categories. So like my food budget was like $35.11 last month, and I went over budget. But I think if I just loosen the reins a little bit, I'm still fairly conservative, but if I loosen the reins a little bit, I think that I'll find that I'll have much more success with meeting that budget category. My March intentions are to simplify my language. I learned last month that one of the ways that I still hide and I'm secret and still lie about money is to use overly complicated language. So in the months to come, I intend to simplify my language around my finances. Intention number 2 is to complete my financial goal number 1. And if you haven't seen my financial goal video, I have 4 financial goals. And so my number 1 financial goal is to restore my financial dignity. And in the month of March, I intend to pay my insurance payment. And so once my insurance payment is paid and I'm actually paying my insurance, my financial dignity will be restored, because I will have covered my personal hygiene. I will be covering my rent and utilities, my food, and my health care. And for me, that is restored financial dignity. And then my intention number 3 is to start my emergency fund. Emphasis on start, because it just is about starting. Those are my biscuits. I need to go get them. The things that I need to accomplish this goal are to make my videos and watch them. Like any video where I'm doing finances, it's just to really watch and listen to the language that I'm using. To complete my financial goal number 1, I need to pay my insurance premium. And then to complete my financial intention, I'm sorry, not goal, intention. No, financial goal, that was a goal. And to complete my other intention, I need to set aside at least $5 minimum to start my emergency fund, just $5 minimum. And then how will I measure the success of these intentions? Reviewing my financial language in the video, the debited amount for my insurance premium, receiving my insurance cards, and then my balance in my savings account. And then last but certainly not least, why are these intentions important? And these intentions are important because I believe that these are the stepping stones to me safely getting to my overarching these are the stepping stones to me safely getting to my overarching goals, or these are the aiming adjustments that will make it easier for me to be able to hit my ultimate target, which is to become 100% debt free. So those are my reflection questions. Now it's time to go over my shoulder so you guys can see how my February 2018 budget worked. Okay, so if you are now looking at the screen, what you will see is everything inside of the EveryDollar app. I'll do just a really quick tutorial, and all I have is my arrow here. I don't know how to create the little bubble. If anybody knows how to do that, let me know and I'll update it for the next video. But here it shows you February 2018, and then there's this check mark. It says it's an every dollar budget. That means that it's zero based, because until things become zero, this does not say that, and it was very frustrating until I got my numbers right, which is the reason why I say this is a very excellent checks and balance for my overall budget. These tabs that kind of look like folders, these are literally just the categories that are reflected on the Dave Ramsey forms that I use monthly. Also, I guess I should say this program, this every dollar program, it is totally free. If you want to actually add your accounts and have your bank automatically transfer in numbers and stuff like that, there's a little bit of a fee, but other than that, it's totally free. And I'm really enjoying it so far because it's adding an extra layer of checks and balances. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go in each folder, and I'm going to talk about how that impacted the budget, where I allocated new things, and just, you know, give you that good grade at the end. So without further ado, let us look at my income folder. So if you go into February, this is what my income looked like. So first, let's just look at this number down here at the bottom. I had $1,711 in income this month, which feels absolutely amazing. That number is just a little bit misleading because here at the top you can see that I did a savings transfer, but even if the savings transfer wasn't on there, I'm still incredibly happy about that. As you guys know, my income has been averaging anywhere between $800 and $1,000 a month, and so this was a very nice income to work with in terms of budgeting. So the first thing that went into my February income plan was my savings transfer. And I did this because if you look at a couple of videos back, I talked about how I wasn't actually ever current on my rent, and I wanted to become current on my rent before I started saving before I started my emergency fund. And so this savings transfer certainly enabled me to become current on my rent. So that was the first thing that came in. And if I click on this item, you actually get the details here. It shows you the date that it was, and I just added the date, shows you the date, savings transfer, and the amount. And so I like that as well. Then I got my first paycheck, and as you can see, I got my first paycheck on the 2nd for $389.86. I got my second paycheck on the 16th. I received a payment from Google AdSense on the 7th. I received a gift of $100 from someone in the financial peace community on the 8th. I did a closet sale. I wasn't intending to sell anything from my closet, but I was KonMari method decluttering so that I can prepare for my spring capsule, and someone enjoyed the purse, so they sent money that included the purchase of the purse plus shipping. And then I received another gift towards the end of the month, and the gift came on the 23rd, but I didn't notice it until yesterday. But I definitely documented the actual date that it came in. I do think that that makes a difference overall, just because you want to have really good financial habits. And so saying when money came in and saying when money came out has been really helpful for me. So again, that total is $1,711. So then when you come down here to giving, my giving plan, and so let me close that one actually. So then the first category that I pay is my giving, and specifically my tithes. Now for my original budget, before I received any additional income, I'm sorry guys, let me go back up. So the income that I knew that I was going to get was the savings transfer, this amount, and this amount. So this total amount, I had anticipated bringing in $1,100. Like in my original budget for February 2018 was $1,100. So if you go back to the budget, and I'll leave a link in the video that you guys can click on it, you will see that I budgeted for $1,100. What was unexpected was all of this income down here, which was a significant amount that was unexpected. And so when you look at my first category of giving, my giving is based on this income that I'm tithing off of, and then this income that I'm tithing off of. And when I say this, let me just highlight it. My paycheck 1, my paycheck 2, and my Google AdSense, because this money was actually all income. I did not tithe off of this gift or this gift, and I have not tithed off the closet sale yet. I will tithe off the closet sale, but anything that is coming in as earned income is what I'm tithing off of. Anything that is coming in as a gift is I'm using it for gift funds. So I say that to say, if you're looking at my original budget, originally there was a plan of $80, but with me receiving this money here, there was an additional, let me just click on that. You can see that, okay, just one moment. So when you come down here to my tithing amount, what you will see in terms of a difference from when I did my February budget versus me doing this budget report card is, in my February budget, I only had originally planned to tithe $80 because I anticipated that income to be a solid $800, but I made a little over when I got the $468. So that brought it up to $85, and then $33 is what I tithed off of the $327. So that brought my tithing total to $118 total. What I really like about the Every Dollar app as well is it does give you percentages over here in this section, which I think is kind of cool. So my giving percentage was at 7%, which is lower than the recommended 10 to 15%, or actually, no, it's not. The recommended percentage is 5 to 10%. It's lower than that, but again, it's lower because there was a savings transfer and I did not tithe off of 2 gifts. The next category is savings. You guys know I didn't put anything into my savings because that is not my intention for February. My tax payment account, because Google, I received this money from Google, it's unexpected. I anticipate earning more money from my Google AdSense, and I want to allocate the money that I will pay towards taxes for that. And so from the $327.27, the tax payment amount would be $98.16. And so what I did is subtracted this $98.16 and put it in a separate savings that is labeled my tax payment account. The next category is housing, which I'm so just happy about this category. Like, it just looks so beautiful. My rent, I paid my rent on the 2nd, but because of the weekend, it didn't clear until the 5th. And so I put that date on there just because you want to know when money is coming in and when money is going out. So that's why that says the 5th. I paid a partial payment in March. And this $196 of a partial payment came out of the extra money that I had received from Google AdSense, which I'm super excited about that. On February 16th, the second partial payment came out, and this is something that I allocated in my monthly budget from my paycheck. So this came out of my second paycheck of $225. And then this last payment for March, this came out of additional monies that I had received from my paycheck, my second paycheck, but then also out of the $100 gift that I received. The only reason why this payment is not showing a date for transaction is because, if you guys remember, I mentioned that my debit card was skimmed, and so money was taken out of my account, and this was one of the payments that I would have paid in order to have my rent be current. And so until I receive that money has already been refunded, and so as soon as I receive my debit card, I'm going to debit this transaction, but it has been allocated so that that would make me current and my March rent would be paid for. So I'm so super stoked about that. And again, I cannot thank you all enough for being a part of this community. Whether you are commenting, liking, subscribing, or sharing, that is creating additional money with the Google AdSense, or you went out of your way to just be a generous, kind human being and send me a gift. I just thank you so much. I deeply appreciate you for that. My phone bill was $35.82. Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to look over here. So like, again, let's look at the percentage. So with me paying 2 months of rent out of the overall $1,700.11 of my income, that is 61%, which is just a very interesting number. I'm like, very interesting. Okay, so my phone bill is $35.82, and someone had asked why it's so low. I'll do a separate video on why my phone bill is so low. But I paid that, and let's see, that came out at the beginning of the month on the 7th. Someone had also asked about, do I know when my expenses come out? I do. And so it's nice to have it in this app though, because I really can track that when things are coming in, when things are going out. My CTA pass is my bus pass. The debit for that came out on the 4th. That definitely says the 14th, but that needs to be updated to the 4th because that comes out at the beginning of the month. And I just like that it's just a very simple, easy process there. Food budget. This is a place where I went over budget. And so my original budgeted amount for food was $35.11. I kicked up my food budget, one, because I purchased something that kicked me over budget, but then also when I received the money from my closet sale, and then I also received the additional $100 gift, I just put a little bit more in my food budget. So that's where you see this $43 versus the $35. So technically I'm over budget for my original budgeting plan, but based on the additional income that I received, I still think that I'm doing really good in this category to just have allocated a couple of extra dollars for this category. So $43, and there's a remaining 81 cents to make sure that I don't keep going over budget, or I don't just start adding money to this particular category. For March, I am going to stuff envelopes, and my food budget is significantly higher, but I'm going to use an envelope so that way whatever is in there is what is spent. All right, so lifestyle, I really like this label. I don't know what it's called on the paper form, but I just thought that that was a great label that they had in the Every Dollar app, because these items really do make up my lifestyle. And so what I have here is $75 for child support. I have $25 for commission, $9.18 for my clothing, which I withdrew and put in an envelope. Then I have personal hygiene / toiletries, which this category used to just be called toiletries, and I changed it to personal hygiene / toiletries because I feel like it's just much more encompassing. Because when I think of toiletries, I don't know, I don't necessarily think of all my personal hygiene items. And so I was sort of getting a little bit lost in like not monthly purchasing the things that I needed to maintain my personal hygiene. Because I guess toiletry to me is like toilet paper, paper towels and stuff, and personal hygiene is like I don't know, more personal stuff. I don't know. But anywho, I have 11 cents left over from that. Then we come to this category. This category also was called cosmetics. I just, again, felt like cosmetics was too general. I want to know exactly what I'm spending things on. And so if you look at my budget, I originally budgeted $800 to be earned from my paycheck, and there was $68 and a little bit of change that was left over. And so where I was able to find $25 to get my eyebrows arched was out of that $68, which I was just super grateful for that. And I struggled with this a little bit, you know, before I added it to the budget. I was like, no, you can't do this, you know, you don't have any money, you need to put that towards debt, you need to do this. And I just was thinking, you know, that is the point. Like, that is where you're going. You are going to get out of debt, but you also are wanting to live on a zero-based budget as a lifestyle, and not as some fad diet that you're doing because you did that before, where you sacrificed everything and, you know, it didn't work. So you know that you can't sacrifice everything. And so I struggled with it quite a bit, but I made the decision to get my eyebrows arched. And so that was $25, the arching plus tips. And then the next category, the Apple iTunes. As you guys know, I knew my son had a subscription. I did not know that I had a subscription. I tried to dispute it. It wasn't able to be disputed. So next month, this Apple's iTunes charge will only be $10.69. So that, I would say that that's a category where I'm over budget, and it's irritating because that's just, you know, me not paying attention. Then pocket money, I gave myself $25 in pocket money, and this was because my other budgets were so conservative. I was finding myself like I wanted to buy, so if you look at these transactions over here, there was something for $1.62. Like, I don't take medicine very often, but I was in a significant amount of pain, and I really wanted to just buy like a single dose of pain medicine. And so I bought it, but there's not a category for that single dose of pain medicine. And I just was like, okay, you need a category for that. So yeah, so that's where the $25 or $24.52 pocket money came from, just because I do realize that there are like little things that I'm not thinking through that do come up. So that pocket money is sort of where those things go. I don't know if I will continue to do $25 a month pocket money. I do think that that's a very conservative amount, something just to keep me from going too loopy, but you know, we shall see. Then lastly, shipping. And shipping is just, this is probably a one-time category because someone had purchased something from a closet sale that I really wasn't even expecting to do. So even though this is an expense that wasn't budgeted for originally, I don't see it as something that negatively impacted my budget, because inside of the $25 that this person sent me, they sent the cost for shipping. So that was shipping. And then my next category, I have business. So you guys know I have a podcast, the Stacey Flowers podcast on iTunes, and my hosting is $15 a month. And so that came out. For debt, I have my PayPal card, which is only supposed to be $15, and $30 came out. I followed up with them in this regard, and essentially it was what I mentioned before. When there's money in that PayPal account, things will get automatically debited that did not get debited before. And so I took that off for now, the auto draft off, just so that I can be thinking about the money that is coming out of my account and actually paying things on time. City Girl events, that will be something, a debt that will be getting its minimum payment next month. And then insurance, again, that'll be something that'll start getting its payment next month. So that is my entire budget. I want to call out the categories that were unexpected, and then the categories where I overspent. So for example, an unexpected category was the tax payment account. I was not anticipating getting a lump sum of money that I would have to take taxes out of. So $98.16 is a significant amount to take out of my budget. However, it's not an indication that I blew my budget or I'm over budget. It's just an indication that I'm properly allocating money that is coming in, which is a beautiful thing. So I'm very excited to be able to pay that comfortably and you know, not have it destroy any other aspect of my budget. I will say I'm over on my food budget here. So my food budget, I was over. Personal hygiene and toiletries, I'm over. Eyebrows, I'm over. Apple Tunes, I'm over. And pocket money, I'm over. And so these 1, 2, 3, 4 categories, when I say that I'm over, I'm saying because in my original February budget, I did not allocate this money for anything. And I don't know what this total is, but it looks like it's over $100. So it's like $100 unexpectedly that I spent that I did not allocate, and that is significant. Now granted, my income went up significantly and I was able to cover that, but what I would like to see me do better next month is just be a little bit more realistic with myself in making sure that I'm giving myself money in these categories, so that way I'm not blowing my budget. Because in the personal hygiene toiletries, like, you know, I bought personal hygiene things, so it's like I can't be mad at myself for buying the things that I needed, but then at the same time it's just like, why are you forgetting that you need these things monthly, you know? So technically they're over budget because they were not originally planned for, but based on the actual income that I had and me actually budgeting that income, I'm not over budget. So yeah, so I just wanted to call those things out. And then I am definitely over budget on my PayPal. So based on what was unexpected, there were tax payment 1, 2, 3, 4. There were 4 unexpected accounts because I just wasn't thinking through realistically about what I spent my money on. And then there were 1, 2, 3 accounts where I went over budget. So I went over budget 3 accounts, and I had 4 unexpected accounts. And so ideally I am planning to think through that better for next month. And if you watch my budget for next month, I've already begun to do that. So overall, I'm very excited about this budget. So the things that are impacting my February grade are the 3 accounts that I went over budget. So let me write this down. So I went over 3 accounts. I don't know where my piece of paper is. Okay. 3 accounts over budget and 4 unexpected and income. Okay, so you guys know income has the biggest weight in my budget report card. I don't know what percentage it is, but it's probably at least 50% of the grade. So my income for this month was significantly higher than what I have been making in the previous month. I am very proud of that. Even if I'm subtracting my savings transfer, I am still very proud to be well over $800, which is sort of the average that I have been making. So for, you know, just because my income is so high, that definitely gives me a higher grade. I went over budget on 3 accounts, and for me, how much I went over budget actually matters. So it matters that for my grocery budget, I went over $8. Like, that's not a significant amount. It matters because, you know, I shouldn't be going over budget, but I'm not going to beat myself up for going over my grocery budget for $8. I am fairly disappointed about my PayPal account and fairly disappointed about the iTunes account, because that is just me not paying attention to where my money is going. And that's the whole point of this. So with my income being significant, those 3 accounts being over budgeted, and the 4 unexpected accounts, I am going to start reducing my grades for not being realistic about what's coming out of my, you know, account. Like, I just need to be more mindful about that. And so with my income, my unexpected, and my 3 accounts for the month of February 2018, I'm going to give myself a B-. And as you guys know, so much of that has to do with the, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even calculate. Okay, so the over budget, unexpected, income, and did you meet your intention that you set for the month? And you guys know my intention for the month was to become current on my rent. So current on my rent is the other thing that weighs into this. And so that's the other reason why I'm getting a much higher grade, is because I met my objective for the month of February, which was to become current on my rent. It's a higher grade because my income is significant. It's not an A yet. It's not even a B+, because I'm still forgetting about expenses and I'm still going over budget, which I plan to correct that in the next month, because I'm just being way too conservative and I'm not being realistic with what I'm actually doing. And we want to see that corrected in the next month. So for February 2018, I got a B-, and I'm proud of that. So that is it. That is my budget for February 2018. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Thank you so much for supporting me on this journey. Thank you for being a part of this financial peace community. I just am so grateful. This income, this me being current, this me being able to give myself toiletry money and pocket money, this could not have happened if you guys were not holding me accountable to the goal that I set for myself a few months ago. And I just thank you. I am so grateful for you guys. Thank you. So until our next video, I will talk to you guys soon.